presents high school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Patriots Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Doan Ford, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Valentine Insurance, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, and Abel's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Refrigeration.
Good evening. Welcome to high school basketball on ABC Sports as we kick off the 2024 broadcast schedule as the John Glenn Little Muskies entertain the New Philadelphia Quakers tonight here in New Concord at the Fish Tank. I'm Dave Hilliard along with my partner Mike Snively. We've got all the action right here on Nash Icon 98.5 and 107.9, and we're also on video tonight. Video stream is free, and that's on our YouTube site, YRP TV. And Brett Klein is in charge of that tonight, so we appreciate Brett running the show for us. Mike, 5-2 John Glenn. They're coming off a big win Saturday against Cambridge in a game that they made 14 of 21 three-point shots, while the Quakers fell to Lexington last Friday night to drop their record to 3-3. So what do you think is the key for victory for these teams tonight?
Well, New Philly might still have a little bad taste in its mouth from last year's district semifinal tournament game where the Little Muskies knocked off the Quakers up in Coshocton, and New Philly was the much higher seed. So New Philly's going to have that in the back of their mind. But you hit the nail on the head when you said how well John Glenn shot it last week or against Cambridge. Do you come out and keep shooting it and maybe you stayed hot from that day, or you got to find a way? But you know as well as I know, Dave, there's games you just have to find ways to win when you're not shooting it well.
Well, and then 6 different players hit threes for John Glenn in that game, and they were 8 for 10 in the first half, which is just a ridiculous attack from the three-point line. And that's a good thing in that your team shot it well, but it can also do some bad things to you. It can make you take bad shots because now all of a sudden your kids think, I can make this all the time.
All the time, yeah. Now, I got a feeling, too, New Philly's probably going to get up in the John Glenn offensive players' faces a little bit tighter after seeing that performance against Cambridge last week.
And that leads me right into the last game that you and I did together. We did the Tri-Valley John Glenn game at Tri-Valley, where basically Tri-Valley used their length and athleticism and got right up into John Glenn and wouldn't let them do anything, and they just ran them out of the gym.
Yeah, and let's make no mistake, Tri-Valley is probably the best team in the area, maybe in the district. And they do. They're long, they're strong, they're athletic, and they don't give you an inch once you cross half court. And that's just a very athletic team that John Glenn had to deal with. And John Glenn playing about 3 or 4 young guys up there, 3 or 4 sophomores for the early in the season.
Right.
Let's see if they've grown from that.
Well, and then it's going to be one of those things too. You'd like to think, hey, we're going to keep shooting the ball well, and you want your kids to have that freedom to shoot it. But again, there's a fine line between that good and bad shot. And sometimes, even myself back into coaching again, you can watch a game and you can think to yourself, that was a bad shot, but you can't really put your finger on why. It's just, you have a feeling as a coach, hey, that was a bad shot. Kids never have that feeling. Players never get that feeling.
No.
They've never met a shot they didn't like usually. So,
and try telling that to 15 and 16-year-olds. Well, Coach, I was open. Well, there's a reason you were open.
There was a reason you were open, exactly. So, John Glenn, surprisingly, to be honest, to me, is 5-2. They won a couple of close ball games, and I wouldn't have expected them to beat Tri-Valley on the road, but another loss to a very good Indian Valley team, and then they beat Cambridge pretty handily, 77-60, as they just shot the lights out. They beat Sheridan by 1.
That's a big win, yes.
But that's a big win in the MVL for them. They beat New Lex at New Lex by 2. New Lex is having a really good year. They beat Logan Elm the other night.
I don't care if you win, how you win at New Lex. That's always a good win.
Yes. And then looking on the other side of the ledger, New Philadelphia started off the season with a 3-point loss to Mount Vernon. Then they beat West Holmes by 10, and then beat Ashland by 15, but lost to Dover. Dover, one of those teams, and from what it was described to me in that conference, they have a tendency to slow the ball down in that conference, especially Dover.
Dover especially, yes.
But they're only averaging 38 points a game, and I think that could be, in a game with limited possessions. I mean, maybe that's the style they're used to playing, but I think they're going to have to score more and more consistently if they're going to beat John Glenn tonight.
Well, and you got two contrasting styles. John Glenn's going to pick you up full court even after misses and trap, and get it up and down the court. And as you said, that I think it's called the Ohio Cap.
OCC or the OCC Cardinal Division.
Cardinal Division, yes. Yeah. And that's kind of a new league for Dover and Philly. But those are some bigger schools. And, yes, they do slow it down. Those are also some long trips for those teams.
Yeah,
I mean,
they got to make some bus rides.
You think about the long trips, maybe that's why they're not scoring as much too. But I see that they only lost to Dover by 9. At Dover, many times they're Division I, Dave, and
right.
And they play. Coach Von Kennel up there has a very good program.
We've got one of his players at Muskingum that we really like. He's a freshman. He hasn't played that much yet, but he's going to because he was well coached, and he's having a little bit of a change because there's a shot clock, and you got to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
And at Dover, he really wasn't used to doing that on a very, it was one of those where you had to hold on to it for a while. So
you got a 30-second shot clock. Now
it's been an adjustment for Brett, but he's doing well, and he'll see some more playing time for us at Muskingum as well. So looking forward to the game tonight. I haven't seen New Philly, and Eric Scheck's first year here, they played New Philly, and they almost stole a game from him. New Philly had a really good team, and John Glenn had a chance to win at the very end, but New Philly beat them here 47-46. I was at that game. Had a chance to see that one. And a couple really good players on that team, Carter Vandal and Michael Vickers. They are gone now. Carter Vandal, he's on the team at Mount Union, who is a top 15 team right now in Division III basketball in the country. John Glenn, really, their big loss was Nathan Walker, who is on our team at Muskingum, thankfully. He's a good player, but he did a lot of things here for the John Glenn team. And just to fill in all the stuff that he did in terms of handling the ball, rebounding, assists, all those things, it's kind of by committee. And as we talked before we came on the air, we know who their 5 starters are, but they're going to play about 10 guys.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are going to be young guys. But right now they're going to probably start, well, I have it right here. They're going to probably start Caleb Larrick, C.J. Dolan, Noah Winland, Will Nikolazakis, and Steele Bates. But they're going to bring sophomores off the bench like Braden Davis and Cooper Briggs. Andrew Glob will see a lot of time, as will Nelson Cameron. So those are the big name players that you're going to hear from John Glenn tonight.
Well, then for New Philadelphia, their big weapon is Colton Slaughter, number 2. He'll kick off their starting lineup tonight along with Carson Crandall, Owen Shellis, Owen Miller, and Boston Kroll. Those 5 are going to start off for New Philadelphia. We'll see how that game progresses, but Slaughter is their main scorer, and that's the one we expect to do the scoring for New Philadelphia.
And speaking of Colton Slaughter, his father, Andy Slaughter, was the basketball coach at Cambridge.
Okay.
Who is assistant coach at New Philly, who was a teammate of Coach Eric Scheck at Tri-Valley.
Boy,
so we just did a big circle.
And there's a big circle right there. And again, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Abel's HVAC, Doan Ford, Valentine Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, as we would say, da-da-da-da-da, and then WB Green Insurance, all sponsors of tonight's broadcast. We appreciate them being along because we can put this game on the radio, and it's a free video live stream tonight on the YRP TV YouTube channel. Brett running a very professional operation over here tonight. Multiple cameras tonight, so we're pretty excited about how this is going to look for the people that are watching at home. And then basically when I want to go back and see how bad we did on the broadcast, then I can go back and watch it and see, where we can do better too, Mike.
That's right. We are on film, and, we go home and study this back at the ABC studios quite often.
Yeah,
we're on TV now.
Yeah, the special camera, now we're on all right, good deal. Now that camera's probably broken. I mean, he walks away with it. He's like, oh my gosh, it's broken. We put Mike and Dave on the air, which thankfully it's a little better than the last time you had the camera stuck in your face.
Yeah, I got
we
caught
were doing football.
Yeah, but hey, Faces for Radio.
Faces for Radio right here tonight. And we're looking forward to it. And they kicked off AC/DC so they could do, I believe they're going to do the starting lineups in the national anthem. So we'll see. I think it's going to be the national anthem first. So, Brett, I believe we're going to take a break. You are watching and listening to high school basketball on AVC Sports.
At Abel's, we're proud that so many people trust our family with their family's home comfort. I'm Russ Abels. For new heating and cooling, you can trust us to save you money with our high-efficiency systems. We're trusted for electrical work, lighting, outlets, generators, complete home electrical service upgrades. We do it all. and you can trust us in an emergency. Whether it's heating, cooling, or electrical repairs, we promise to do the job right. It's what we do for family, and it's what everyone deserves. Trust Ables.
Save money and get peace of mind with secure file backups from AVC Tech. Lost or deleted files happen all the time, and it can be devastating to your business. AVC Tech backs up all your data from all your computers and stores it in the cloud securely. If you ever lose your data for any reason, we can restore all your files easily from backup. Right now, you can get 2 months of our cloud backup services free. There's no need for us to even come on site. We can set you up remotely and protect your files quickly and easily. Contact us today for more details and to get your first 2 months free. Call 740-432-5605 or visit avctechnicalservices.com.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com. Each year, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative provides an all-expenses-paid trip for 2 students to attend the Washington, D.C. Youth Tour coordinated by Ohio's electric cooperatives. Applicants must be a high school sophomore or junior and the child or legal ward of a Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative member at the time of selection. For a complete list of qualifications or to apply, visit gmenergy.com. Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it's for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company from Iowa to offer liability coverage to package with their Patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today, 740-305-5121, and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut-rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
You're listening to high school basketball on 107.9, 98.5 Nash Icon, WILE Cambridge.
Dave Hilliard back at the fish tank. High school basketball tonight. New Philadelphia visiting John Glenn here in New Concord. And they're going through the starting lineups right now. And they slipped in a new number on us, but I did hear that it was Crowell, which...
He was 42.
He was 42, but now he is 00 out there, and he is a good-sized young man. But the starting lineup there for New Philadelphia, the Quakers, Colton Slaughter, Carson Crandall, Owen Shellis, Owen Miller, and Boston Crowell. He was the last one, and he was the mystery starter for us there, Mike, as he came out with number 0, who is not on the roster. So
Philly's going to have a good advantage in height, 6'2", 5'11", 6'6", 6'2", and 6'5", Dave.
Over on the John Glenn side for Coach Eric Scheck, his little Muskies, Caleb Larrick, he's going to start it. He's a senior post player, 6'6" senior. Got number 2, C.J. Dolan, a 6-foot sophomore guard. Number 5, Noah Windland, a 6'1" senior wing player. Number 15, a 5'7" junior guard, Will Nikolazakis, and he's still the captain of Dave's all-name team. And then number 33, Steele Bates, a 6-foot sophomore guard, rounds out the starting lineup for the Little Muskies, and we're about ready for the opening tip. If you're watching the game, New Philly is in red, trimmed with black and white. John Glenn, white uniforms with the maroon lettering, and we're about ready to get this one underway here in beautiful, I will say, uptown New Concord, Ohio.
Well, I just looked at Philly's uniforms, and I couldn't help but think the 76ers.
They do look with the Phila across there, exactly right. And the opening tap is going to go to the Quakers, controlled and off to Owen Miller. And as we said, there's a bunch of Millers on this team. If we're in doubt about a name, we're just going to say Miller. And that's Owen Miller out on the right wing. He's being harassed by Bates, gets it out on the top. Crandall drives, pulls up, shot, no good. Rebound off to Larrick, and here come the Little Muskies for their first possession of the game. Down the left side or the right side of the floor. They're going to look into Larrick. Larrick trying to make a move, spins into the lane. Nothing doing. He's going to kick it back out to Dolan. Now gets it to Nikolazakis at the top of the key, and he's going to reset the offense for the Little Muskies. Bates on a basket cut, but he doesn't get it. Gets it to Larrick, hands it off. Nothing doing there as Dolan is cut off again. Larrick's got the ball, penetrates into the lane, lowers his shoulder up and in. Nice move in the post from Caleb Larrick, and that's the first bucket of the game. And there is a violation.
I believe he stepped over the line.
Well, Miller was behind the line. He flipped it over to Crandall, and Crandall then stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, stepped right out of bounds. And
So
you
he-
see that a lot, and it doesn't get called, though, Dave.
Exactly. Winland going to inbound the ball for the Little Muskies. Dolan turned down a three-point shot, and he gets it to Bates out on the top of the circle. Muskies to reset the offense now. Bates all the way underneath the basket. He's bodied out. Nice pass from Winland over to Dolan. Dolan three ball, no good. A rebound off to New Philadelphia, and that went to Slaughter, and he's going to be fouled. That's our first foul call of the game to Noah Winland. And Mike, the new rule change now. 5 free throws in a quarter or 5 fouls in a quarter, and you start shooting free throws.
But you know, you talked about the difference between a good shot and a bad shot. That was an excellent shot with good ball movement.
That was a great look they had, just didn't get it to go. Slaughter up the floor with the right hand, cut off by Nikolazakis, and he makes his way across to the middle of the floor. Pass, nice move, and that was a great move. Nice shot fake from Owen Miller as he got to the rim easily. Shot fake and a drive, and that's his first two, and it's 2-2, 6:26 to play in the first quarter. Dolan on the right side flips it all the way across the floor to Winland. Now to Nikolazakis, into Larrick in the post, trying to make something happen. Couple dribbles. They try to dig it away from him, and he throws it away, and that's the first turnover of the game, intercepted by Miller. Miller on the attack, and he turns it right back over. Bates gets in the passing lane, and he lays it up and in, and that's his first bucket of the game. 4-2 John Glenn here, 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Steele Bates is pesky, always around the ball. You got to be careful if you're Philly about Steele Bates being around.
That's the way I think all of John Glenn's guards play. They're just real annoying on defense.
You can't take a break.
You can't, and they do a nice job of getting their hands on the basketball. Winland overmatched in the post, does a nice job trying to hold his ground, and it's kicked back out. That was Kroll. He kicked it back out. And there was Bates in the passing lane again, as Mike pointed out. Slaughter now gets the ball on the right side to Miller. Miller gets it off to Crandall. Crandall. Slaughter at the top of the key. Thought about a three and got rid of it. Pick and roll setup. Winland does a nice job out on the screen. They dump it off inside. No shot again. Larrick patrolling the middle. People just really don't want to try to shoot it over him. There's a three ball on the way. No good. Rebound fought for and controlled and laid up and in. Kroll with great work on the board. Muscled his way to get the rebound and then laid it in.
Kroll 6'5", but he's every bit of 230, and he's got some pretty good feet.
Yes, he does. He's got some good size, and if you got good feet to go along with it, you can do some damage inside. Larrick now, lob pass in, shot fake up, no good. Nice move, just couldn't get it to go. Crandall with a rebound. Here come the Quakers on the attack. Crandall pulls up, kicks it out to Slaughter. Three ball on the way, and it's good. He's got that ability. He hit 7 threes in a game earlier this year, so.
And he's about 25, 26-foot range as well.
He can really shoot it, so Slaughter gets his first points of the game, and it gives New Philly a lead for the first time, 7-4, as they lead John Glenn, and there's a foul call.
And we got a host of substitutions, 3 for each team coming in, Dave.
And they're going to call Kroll for that foul. A little bit too physical. John Glenn going to inbound the ball underneath the rim basket. Dolan going to take care of it. Braden Davis in the game. Nelson Cameron into the game. Davis has got it. Now back out on the top.
Davis didn't miss a shot last week against Cambridge.
Briggs into the game as well. He wears number 1. He's got the basketball. Over to Dolan on the right side. Dolan trying to direct traffic a little bit. Lefty dribble. Pulls up, kicks it out to Davis. Davis. And it's going to be another turnover as Dolan was looking for Larrick and couldn't get it to him. And here come the Quakers on the attack. Slaughter, hesitation dribble, gets into the lane, tries to make a bounce pass, and it's intercepted, but they couldn't control it. 3 ball on the way from the wing. No good, but rebounded by New Philadelphia. Shellis with the rebound. Mike, you said they've got an advantage with height, and they've got a couple of offensive rebounds here early in the game.
Yes, 2 offensive rebounds, 4-1 rebounding advantage for the Quakers.
Quakers now running the flex offense, and they set an illegal screen on that down screen on the flex. And that's going to be on Magoni, his first foul of the game. And that's 2 fouls on the Quakers here. 3:25 to play. New Philadelphia up 3 here early, 7-4. John Glenn with the basketball. Nelson,
you can see why New Philly scores are low, Dave, because they are pretty good on defense and patient
there's
on
a
offense.
drive to the bucket and deny. Dolan at the rim. Tried to shoot it with his right hand on the left side of the basket. One of my pet peeves as a basketball coach is not going to your offhand when you should.
Right.
And that was an instance where he should have done that. Dolan should have went with his left hand on that side. Now Larrick checks out of the game for John Glenn. Windland returns. Or maybe it was Bates. I can't remember who just came in there, but Bates out there harassing the dribbler. Wells, who just checked in for New Philadelphia in that hockey line change that we had just a couple minutes ago. John Glenn now. Slaughter, 3-ball on the way from deep again. He got some space and he knocked it down. And Coach Sheck, I believe, is going to have a conversation about covering that 3-point shot. We'll take a quick break, too. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
How can you select from insurance companies offering you lizards or ducks? When it comes to protection for your home and auto, you want a company that provides quality insurance products and personalized, fair, friendly claims service. WB Green Insurance represents Westfield Insurance. Their reputation is based on sharing knowledge and building trust. Westfield has been around the neighborhood over 150 years. WB Green Insurance welcomes the opportunity to quote your home, car, and business insurance. Don't be fooled by lizards and ducks. Call 439-1329.
Dave Hilliard and Mike Snively back at the fish tank. John Glenn took a timeout there as Colton Slaughters got loose for a couple of wide open looks, and he's hit them both for threes. He's got 6, and he's the difference in the game right now as the Quakers have a 10-4 lead. John Glenn, though, on offense here as Bates brings it into the front court. Hands it off to Windland. Windland penetrates in, lays it up. No good. Air ball on the layup. Rebound fought for and controlled by New Philadelphia. Here comes Wells with the basketball. He throws it ahead to Slaughter. Slaughter going all the way to the rim, up and in, and good. Hoop and the harm for Colton Slaughter. He's got a chance to get his 3rd three-pointer of the game, this time the old-fashioned way, Mike.
Yeah, he's on pace for 9 points here. He's on pace for the game, about 40 right now. That's one thing John Glenn did well last year in the tournament game. I hate to bring up last year, but they were constantly on him, even from 25, 30 feet out, because his range isn't unlimited past 25 feet.
Noah Windland, that's his 2nd foul, and Slaughter now with the conventional 3-point play. He's got 9 of the Quakers' 13 as they lead 13-4. John Glenn looking for something to happen good offensively. It's been a little bit physical inside, and that's not something that John Glenn's younger guards have handled well, especially if you think back against Tri-Valley.
No, and I see you do see the quickness from the New Philly defense.
And there's a nice move by Bates, and they're going to count it.
They're going to count it.
They gave him the continuation, so hoop and the harm for Steele Bates. And he's got a chance for the 3-point play. They needed something good to happen on offense, and Bates makes it happen there as he gets a chance for the 3-point play, the first free throw for John Glenn tonight.
Now they called that on number 24, and there is not a 24 on our roster.
Bates makes the free throw. He's got 5 points now, 13-7. New Philadelphia. Slaughter all the way underneath the basket. He kicks it out. 3-ball from the left-hander is good from Crandall. The 3rd 3-pointer of the quarter for the Quakers. There's a ball tipped away and stolen. Braden Davis looking for Larrick underneath, can't get it to him. New Philadelphia now minute 40, looking to extend a 16-7 lead. Crandall's got it. Now into the lane and kick back out of the corner. Lefty 3-pointer on the way again. This time no good. That was Crandall. He got another good look, and this time the foul is on number 5, Owen Schellis. That is his first, team's 3rd. Minute 24 to go here in the first quarter.
Right now, New Philly has a 7-1 advantage on the boards, Dave.
And John Glenn's going to have to find a way to do some damage themselves on the board, or they're just going to have some real trouble in winning this basketball game.
New Philly dictating the tempo with their defensive pressure.
Doing a nice job pushing John Glenn's offense farther away from the basket. There's Bates way behind the three-point line. He now penetrates with his left hand, flips it to Larrick. Larrick going to make a move. He just put his shoulder down and ran over him. That is an easy call. Offensive foul on Caleb Larrick. That's his first. He lowered the shoulder and led with it. That was an easy one.
Probably felt he needed to get something done here quickly before the half and just made the wrong decision there. And maybe a little spin, maybe a pull-up jumper there from 7 feet.
Inbound against pressure. Here comes the Quakers. Tip from behind by Bates. A lot of contact, no call. Bates gets the steal. He's going to take it all the way. A little Euro step, and he's fouled, and it goes in. Bates with another chance for yet another three-point play as he is fouled. Converts it. And that foul, trying to see who the official called that one on.
Like number 4.
It was number 4,
That
Reed
was
Wells.
Reed Wells. I wondered if the official was going to call the foul or the travel.
Couldn't decide myself. He's called the foul instead. Bates can't get the three-point play, but they're harassing New Philly as they bring it up the court. Now they try to trap the ball handler, and he gets rid of it. Gets it over to Crandall. Crandall now to Owen Miller. Owen Miller dribbles. He's being harassed by Briggs.
I wouldn't be surprised if New Philly
Tries to hold it for one.
Yeah, they got 23 more seconds.
Bates just hacks him out of front court, and that's a pretty easy call too. Steal, and I thought he was going to get a foul on the steal that he made.
I did too.
Because there was a lot of contact there.
So that's going to put
4 fouls.
4 fouls.
Four
Yes,
fouls.
4 fouls on John Glenn. So they will probably hold for one.
20 seconds to play, I would agree.
Yeah, John Glenn, I believe, has the possession arrow coming out for the second quarter.
16-9, 20.6 here on the clock. And they're telling Steele Bates to tuck in his jersey, which he's trying to take care of, and then they're going to inbound the basketball.
Steele's so thin it can't stay tucked in.
Into the backcourt to Colton Slaughter. Slaughter's going to be the one they would like to have that last shot, I am sure. Kicks it over to Wells. Now they're looking for Slaughter on a backdoor cut. They get it to him, and he throws it up wildly. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Larrick. Three-pointer from half court off the back iron. No good by Nelson Cameron. That'll end our first quarter. New Philadelphia leads this one 16-9. We'll be back after a short break. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
I was sitting in my car, and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood, and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio, I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door, and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Second quarter underway here in New Concord. John Glenn with the first possession. Nelson Cameron brings the ball into the front court. Little set play. They throw it to Bates, but Bates can't handle it. It's going to go out of bounds. That's a turnover.
5th turnover for John Glenn on the night.
Mike, you have established who number 24 is for New Philadelphia.
Yeah, 24. We have 12 on the roster, but 24 will be Quinn Miller, a 6'1" sophomore.
Well, there we go. See, now the mystery has been solved. Some crack work here from Mr. Mike Snively. Good thing there was another broadcast crew here tonight from that area.
Thank former New Philly coach Phil Tedrick with the
assist
there.
on that one. All
yes.
right. Cameron harassing Wells out front. Lyric, he doesn't want to leave that lane and go out and guard Crowell. I don't blame him. Crowell really hasn't shown much of ability to shoot it from the perimeter. He's an inside guy. And as we have noted, this is a pretty much going to be a deliberate offense from New Philadelphia. They take it out, reset it again. Wells got it. Pick and roll. Dumps it inside. Nice move up and under the basket. Kroll did a nice job of using the rim to shield off Larrick, but he can't get the layup to go. 3 ball on the way from John Glenn, and it's good for C.J. Dolan. And boy, once you see the ball go in, you're hoping if you're Eric Scheck that the good vibes keep flowing from that Cambridge game. Now he tried to get a trap in the back court, almost forced a traveling, and he did. He stepped out of bounds. Nice job by the John Glenn pressure as they forced a turnover. Crandall stepped right out of bounds with a basketball.
That's the 5th turnover for New Philly. Both teams have 5 turnovers right now, Dave. Hey, here's a unique stat for you. With Steele Bates' rebound here early in the quarter, that's the first time somebody other than Caleb Larrick's rebounded the ball.
Wow.
And only the 3rd rebound on the night for the Muskies.
16-12. New Philly in the lead here. Nikolazakis brings it into the front court. Bates tries to set a screen for him. Nikolazakis on the dribble all the way to the rim. Up and good. Nice play from Will Nikolazakis. He's on the scoreboard. That's his first 2 of the game. And when you score, you can get into the press, and that's what John Glenn wants to do.
John Glenn's made her last 4 field goal attempts.
16-14 now. New Philly's lead has shrunk to 2 as we've started this second quarter. Another good trap there by the John Glenn defense that they're going to call a foul this time, though. And that's going to be on Bates, I believe. And that's going to be his 2nd personal of the game. And I believe that's why Nelson Cameron is at the scorer's table to check in, because Bates is going to exit with his 2 fouls, at least for a little while. New Philly inbounding the ball right in front of the John Glenn bench. They throw it into the backcourt to Owen Miller. Wells brings it across into the front court. They get it to Slaughter. Slaughter really likes to go hard to his right, and he is denied by Caleb Larrick. Larrick just waited for Slaughter to get there and then slapped it away. Slaughter a little bit out of control that time.
Slaughter obviously way better behind the 3-point line than on the drive, and that's what John Glenn wants him to do, put it on the floor.
And there's Slaughter from the corner, and he's going to be fouled because you can't knock their feet out from underneath them. They've got to have space to land, and that's going to be on Will Nikolazakis.
It's going to send Slaughter to the line for 3.
And I'm saying the percentages are pretty high for him as a free throw shooter, seeing that he shoots it so well from the 3.
He's already 1 for 1, I think, on the night.
Make that 2 for 2 as the first one goes. He's got 10 points now here. Eyes the rim, dribbles it 3 times, lets it fly, and that one rolls around and goes in.
One of the first times he's hit the rim tonight from beyond 15 feet.
18-14 now. New Philly with the lead, and he's trying to complete a 3-point play by the free throw line, and he gets it done. He makes all 3, and that gives New Philly a 19-14 lead, back up to 5 points. Nikolazakis into the front court. Dolan now finds Davis on the right wing, back out in front to Cameron. Davis penetrates, throws it across to Nikolazakis. He penetrates, wild shot is up, and they're going to call a foul. I think they kind of bailed him out a little bit on that one.
Get first foul on the second quarter for the Quakers.
That foul was on Owen Miller, and that's his first foul of the game. Nikolazakis at the line shooting 2 for John Glenn. First one off the right side of the rim and no good.
Makes him 5 of 9 on the year, Dave.
Nikolazakis looking to cut into a 19-14 lead. John Glenn trails by 5, and that one hits the same part of the iron, but Nikolazakis hustles after it, gets his own rebound, penetrates all the way underneath the basket, and then kicks it out. Davis puts it on the floor and then kicks it across to Dolan on the right side. Nikolazakis on the right wing. Stop and go dribble, gets it to Larrick. Larrick spins into the lane. They dig at him, but he spins back to his right hand, and that's his favorite move. He likes to spin back over that left shoulder with his right hand.
And that's just a good move. With those long legs and that footwork, they may want to look at that. They may want to look at that option more often tonight.
He's got 4 now. It's 19-16. John Glenn harassing New Philly in the backcourt. trying to force another turnover, and they do. Larrick's got it, gets it ahead to Nikolazakis. Nikolazakis dumps it back. They find Larrick inside, and there's going to be a foul called.
We're going to get Crowell on that one.
And that's going to be his second foul of the game.
I love watching the big guy run from one end of the court to the other full speed. He should get rewarded, Dave, and he did, and he got fouled that time.
He's coming out of the game. Owen Schellis going to check in for him. Not losing much in size. Schellis, another good-sized young man. As he comes into the game, Schellis, he's a 6'6" senior. He matches up right well with Larrick.
Look like we have a little water on the court.
A little water, a little towel action, going to take care of that. John Glenn going to inbound the ball underneath their own bucket. Trailing 19-16 here with 4:46 to play until halftime.
Obviously, that's perspiration on the court.
Dolan looking for somebody, kicks it all the way out top to Glob, who just entered the game. Glob picked up his dribble. Dolan goes and gets it back over to Briggs. Briggs now picks up his dribble, gets it over to Nelson Cameron. Cameron, crossover dribble. Briggs got it again. Now they get it to Larrick. Larrick looking for a backdoor cut. Now he's going to put it on the floor, trying to spin back to his right, but he flips it underhand to Cameron. Cameron throws up a shot, no good. An air ball, rebound by New Philly. And there's John Glenn pressing off a miss, a very tough thing to do, and they got it done, got some pressure on the ball, almost forced another turnover. Here goes Slaughter. Kicks it over the corner. 3-ball on the way is off the iron, no good. Schellis fights for the rebound, up and no good. Blocked after an offensive rebound by Schellis, blocked by Larrick. Nice action underneath the bucket. No blood either way there. No fouls and no bucket.
No, and that's just I don't know. John Glenn just couldn't reach out and grab that ball right there, and sometimes that happens.
There's 3 guys right there.
Yeah, they're right there. They were all in position to do it, just neither one of them did it.
Nelson Cameron harassing Wells. He gets it over to Crandall. Crandall, they were running Slaughter off a little double screen, but couldn't get him the basketball. Wells has got it. Right-hand dribble, spin move into the lane. Backdoor cut by Slaughter, but it couldn't get it to him, and there's an air ball. And finally knocked around, and John Glenn comes out with the board. Here comes Glob. Glob picks it up, and I thought there was a foul down there, but nothing was called. Dolan got knocked to the floor, and the ball was taken from him. Nice fake and dribble, pull-up shot, no good. Nice move there by Crandall. Shot fake, pull-up jumper, which the mid-range game is pretty much gone from basketball these days.
It really is. Anything 15 feet, except for the free throw, obviously. But New Philly's on a streak of missing 7 straight shots.
I appreciate Crandall with the nice move there, but couldn't get it to go. 19-16, the score stays. 3:09 to play with the clock running here in the second quarter. Nikolazakis going to go to the basket on a backdoor cutting, throws up another air ball on a layup. That's 2, but there's Bates in the passing lane with the steal. He forces up the shot, but is fouled by Quinn Miller.
How many times does Bates steal that outlet pass?
It just seems like he is, as you said, he is around the ball all the time. Bates, though, with a couple of fouls, was on the bench until just re-entering a moment ago, and immediately his presence is felt as he gets a steal. And he gets fouled, and he's going to go to the free throw line. And the first one off the iron, no good.
That's 4 straight misses at the line for John Glenn. Bates is a 74% free throw shooter. Now 14 of 20. So 70.
Second one, no good as well. Oh, Larrick almost had the rebound, but instead, that's Schellis with the rebound for New Philly. 2:50 to play, 19-16. Quakers with a 3-point lead. They break the press. Kick it back out. They're trying to get a 3 on the way. They're going to get one this time. 3 lefty, no good. Rebound.
That's a big rebound there by C.J. Dolan. Big boy rebound.
Dolan with a rebound, and he's fouled on the rebound by number 25, Owen Miller. That's going to be Miller's second foul. New Philly only with 3 points in the quarter, and they were all on free throws.
Yeah, all free. Right now, the difference in the game is free throws. John Glenn's missed their last 5, and New Philly is 4 for 4.
John Glenn 1 for 6 from the free throw line. Larrick's got it. right at the elbow. Fires it underneath and can't handle it. Braden Davis. It's a good play. You get it on that elbow. The opposite elbow dives right to the rim. He had him, but a little bit too much mustard on the pass, and Davis couldn't handle. That's a turnover.
Maybe a little too far underneath the hoop, too.
Maybe a little bit too far underneath the bucket. Shellis has got it. He really doesn't want to put it on the floor, it looks like. So he finds somebody that can dribble it, and that's Slaughter. He gets it into the front court now. Being harassed there by Nikolazakis. Miller. Nice pass to the wing, and they're going to skip it over for a 3-ball. Miller lines it up, lets it go, and gets it.
That ends an 0 for 8 streak for New Philly, that three-pointer.
New Philly now 22-16 lead as they convert from the three-point line, and there is a wild layup taken. No good there. Dolan thought he got fouled, but he didn't. There's Bates again, pressuring the ball in the backcourt. He got a piece of it. Here comes Nikolazakis for the steal and the lay-in, which is good. Bates again creates another turnover, 22-18 New Philly. Nikolazakis dives on the floor, and he gets a steal. Bates now trying to find some room along the baseline. He's hammered, and he's going to call an alternate possession, and it's going to go to New Philly. Boy, a nice steal there. Will Nikolazakis getting on the floor. Bates comes up with the ball, and there's that lack of strength that, Bates, he's a sophomore. He's going to get bigger, but the physical strength is the thing that he really lacks, and that's what happened to him right there. He just took it from him because he wasn't strong enough to protect the basketball.
Squeeze that basketball in. It's okay to not necessarily throw elbows, but get your elbows extended.
You got to put it underneath your chin. That's what they tell you kids. You chin the basketball, and really didn't get that done. New Philly now on the attack. They lead 22-18, just over a minute to play until halftime. Shell is setting a screen out there for Slaughter. They're trying to get in, and that's got to be a travel, and that was not called. And that's going to be a three-pointer.
That's a big non-call
by
there.
Slaughter. How many steps are you allowed to take and still not have a traveling called? Coach Sheck was a little bit disbelieving on that one, and now they're going to give him a makeup call.
Yeah, he took 2 or 3 steps, lost the ball, came down with the ball, and took 2 or 3 more steps.
That's going to be on Magoni, and that is the 5th foul of the quarter. So here we go, new rule. Davis going to shoot 2 free throws.
John Glenn needs to make some free throws. Davis, 2 of 2, just two attempts on the year.
And he gets the first one. He breaks the string. John Glenn makes a free throw. It's 25-19, 51.3 seconds to play until halftime. Davis now shooting the second one. And front end, backboard, and good. And they've got a substitute, Glob, coming in for Dolan. Muskies in that press. It's a 1-2-2 set here. They've been harassing New Philly all night long. Cameron up front with Glob. They're going to get another trap, but they get it back to Slaughter. Slaughter going to get it into the front court. 40 seconds left until halftime. Will New Philly be deliberate and try to get one shot here to end it? It's 25-20, 35 seconds, clock rolling here in the quarter.
Well, Dave, they haven't been looking too good in terms of handling the ball in the second quarter, so I would say they will probably take a good look if they got it.
Slaughter's got the basketball. Now they were going to come and trap. Glob came to trap, and Slaughter got rid of it. And I might want to get the ball out of Slaughter's hands if I was John Glenn. Wells has got it, 8 seconds. Clock running, they ran Slaughter off the screen. He tries to protect it. He just traveled and it didn't get called, and he kicked it out for a 3-ball, and it's good from Quinn Miller, and that's going to end the quarter. New Philly, courtesy of that 3-pointer at the buzzer, makes it 28-20 at the half. We'll take a break. We'll pay some bills. I think we've got the ONN halftime coming up, as Brett assured me. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Hoops. Now here's your host, Eric Reeser.
Friend of the program, Tim Streed, serves as Director of Media Relations for the Ohio High School Athletic Association, but many may not know he's one of many licensed OHSAA basketball officials. He'll join me to discuss all that goes into his routine and how being an official has changed the way he watches sports. That's next. This is the Ohio News Network.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
In Ohio, public education matters. And every day, Ohio's public school educators use their united voice to advocate for the supports and resources our public schools need so every child thrives. No exceptions. I'm Ohio Education Association President Scott Demaro, and on behalf of our 120,000 members, OEA is proud to sponsor tonight's game. Because great public schools are a winning playbook for Ohio, and Ohio is stronger when we stand together to cheer for our students' success.
This is ONN.
I'm Eric Reeser. Tim Street is my guest. He's the Director of Media Relations for the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tim is also a licensed official with the OHSAA, and you might see him throughout the winter season serving as a referee at high school basketball games. I asked Tim to give our listeners a sense of the time commitment needed for OHSAA officials all over the Buckeye State.
Sure. Well, and I will tell you that the time commitment to be an official varies from person to person. There are some people that almost make this their profession, and they work on it every day. They work games in season almost every day. There's a lot of people that do that, and then in the off season they travel to camps and they work summer leagues, etc. There's a lot of people that do that. Or there's some people that are like me, that we work usually 1 or 2 days a week. We go to some summer camps, we go to some summer leagues, but we also have full-time jobs, and that's the vast majority of officials. We're teachers, doctors, we're custodians, we're librarians. We are all different kinds of profession. And officiating is basically our chance to get out in a school on a Tuesday night and work a basketball game. I love it. It's my chance to give back to the sport, to give back to our schools and our community, and just have a lot of fun out on the court. Does that mean that every game goes great? No, it doesn't. Does that mean some people are going to yell some things from the stands? Well, of course they do. That's part of the game. But you got to take it all in stride and still have fun with it, which the vast majority of us do. It's one of those where if I could be on the court every night, I would. But certainly the vast majority of officials, have full-time jobs doing other things. And so this is the way we can just work a day or two. But I'm always thinking basketball officiating. It's kind of interesting. I was on the treadmill this morning watching a college basketball game, and when I watch basketball on TV, I just watch the officials. I just love watching good collegiate and professional officials and high school officials in our state tournament that are just so good. They're so polished. And when you watch a good, effective officiating crew, they work together. Their mechanics are so good, and they're just able to manage the game to the point where sometimes you don't even notice they're there.
Tim has stressed in past discussions that there is a need for more officials all over Ohio. For those interested in becoming a licensed official with the Ohio High School Athletic Association or learning more, you're encouraged to visit ohsaa.org/officiating. In late 2023, the OHSAA announced a partnership with the Ohio Department of Education and a company called RefReps to create an online curriculum and new coursework to allow high school students and those seeking a high school diploma credit towards their graduation by earning an officiating license from the OHSAA. Tim says he hopes to encourage younger Ohioans to learn more about becoming a referee by making the process more accessible with virtual options and online classes. The OHSAA has also announced a relaunch of an initiative from 2003 called Respect the Game. That focuses on sportsmanship and accountability in making sure everyone at athletic events feels safe and has a positive experience. The decrease in officials has been linked to bad behavior from fans and coaches, for burnout and attrition to the OHSAA licensed officiating ranks. My thanks to Tim Street for his time, and for more information on anything to do with the Ohio High School Athletic Association, visit ohsaa.org. For the Ohio News Network, I'm Eric Reeser.
Dave Hilliard, Mike Snively back at the fish tank here in New Concord. John Glenn trails at halftime at 28-20 to New Philly. The Quakers, the benefit of some good three-point shooting there in the first half. They hit 6 threes in the first half to John Glenn's 1. And as a matter of fact, New Philly's 12 points in the second quarter, all via three-point plays. 4 of those being a 3-point shot, three of those being 3-pointers, and then Slaughter got fouled on a 3-pointer and made all 3 free throws.
Right.
So they had all their points scored via some sort of 3-point play in that second quarter.
Yeah, Slaughter has 15, more than half of the points, 28. John Glenn didn't shoot it too bad, 7 of 15. New Philly shot it about the same, 9 of 20, but they did get 5 more shot attempts up. But I tell you what, John Glenn got ripped on the boards, 13-6. New Philly had 4 offensive rebounds, and John Glenn only had 1. Both teams had 9 turnovers. Both teams had 4 turnovers in the first quarter. Both teams had 5 turnovers in the second quarter. Free throws, John Glenn 3 of 8, and New Philly 4 of 4.
As we said here, New Philly with a 28-20 halftime lead here. Colton Slaughter leading the way. He's got 15. Carson Crandall, he's got a 3-pointer for 3 points. Quinn Miller, another one with a 3-pointer for 3 points. Owen Miller, he's got 5 for New Philly. And then Boston Kroll, he's got 2 for the Little Muskies. Caleb Lyrick has got 4. They're going to need a little bit more production out of him in order to come back in this basketball game, I think, Mike. And then C.J. Dolan, he hit a 3 for 3 points. Will Nikolazakis, he's got a couple of buckets for 4. Braden Davis with a couple of free throws for 2 points. And then Steele Bates leading the way for John Glenn. He's got 7. But the most glaring thing that we talked about, John Glenn has missed a bunch of free throws.
Well, that Dave, they missed at one point, they missed 5 in a row. So they were 3 of 8, but they had a stint where they were 0 for 5. And the other thing, too, I've noticed, they only have the 1 3 ball. But how many shot attempts at the threes have they got, Dave? Not many.
They really haven't got that many shots.
John Glenn's just
right.
not letting them have it. And they probably were at the Cambridge game last week or saw the film and thought, we better get out on these cats. And they've done a really good job, New Philly has. And the deliberate offense where they just, on the other end with New Philly, where they just reverse it around 4 or 5 times, you know, your defensive legs get tired a little bit and you're going to give up a wide open 3 every once in a while. And that's exactly what happened. And New Philly was able to knock them down.
Well, that's been the big difference is from the 3-point lane, and also the case that they just are not shooting the ball well from the line. But where they've been able to get some success is when they have been able to set up their press and they've been able to pressure the ball in the backcourt, because they're able to turn New Philly over in that sense.
And you're exactly right. They got them in the game. They got the momentum going for John Glenn. John Glenn playing 8-9 guys, and they're subbing about every 2 minutes. A line change of 2 or 3 guys at a time, keeping the legs fresh. And we've seen a lot them turn Philly over quite a few times for easy layups. At least 6 points have come via the turnover and easy layups for John Glenn.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do, Mike. They've got to get more turnovers. And the one thing the game has been pretty well officiated. We thought they missed a couple of traveling calls, but physical play has been definitely something that they have allowed on both sides.
Yes.
And that's one of those that really favors New Philly, in my opinion.
No doubt about it. Not only does it favor New Philly, I mean, it gives them a huge advantage. But you did mention officiating. We thought at the end, the last 2 3-pointers that New Philly made, we thought both times the pass to the shooter, the offensive guy had traveled twice. And
the first one was really obvious,
yeah,
I thought.
The second one, so there's 6. It could be a 2-point game right now if those travels are called. But if you're Coach Check, you can't worry about that right now. On to the next play.
He's a little bit more concerned about the lack of rebounding, I'm sure,
Absolutely.
and his team's not shooting the ball from the free throw line. I mean, that's the one thing you get that's unguarded in basketball is from the free throw line. It's the only free shot you're going to get. It's unguarded. Those are ones you've got to make. You want to shoot, as a high school basketball team, a team that shoots it well from the free throw line is going to shoot around 70%.
Yes.
And right now, 3 for 8 just is not getting it done for John Glenn.
Not going to get it. And John Glenn came in shooting 65%, which isn't terrible.
That's not bad.
Yeah, they just 3 of 8, not going to get it. And you miss 5 in a row. And, you know, sometimes you know how it is. It's contagious sometimes, just like making it, you know.
Well, getting ready to start this second half, and this is the most important part of the basketball game, in my opinion. Mike, this first 4 minutes of the second half, is John Glenn going to be able to cut into this lead and make the game interesting the rest of the way? Or is New Philly maybe going to extend the lead? That's what we're going to find out here as Will Nikolazakis is going to bring the ball into the offensive end of the floor for John Glenn. Bates running off a little screen. Now they've got it to Lyrick. Lyrick, hand off to Dolan. Dolan was looking for a 3. It's tipped away from him. Hands it back to Nikolazakis.
Both teams with their original starters.
Nikolazakis dribbles and then hands it off to Dolan. Windland's got it out top. Trying to make a move there, gets it back to Nikolazakis. He tries to throw it into Larrick, but nice defense on the post there by Kroll. He's back in the game.
I'd like to see that wraparound bounce pass into the post right there.
Got to throw it away from the defense there. You can't throw it up high because he's going to get that one. It's that wraparound bounce pass where it comes from the floor.
Yes.
You got no angle to get that one.
Stretch
if it
that
comes
leg
from
out
the
to
floor.
get it there.
Get it into Larrick, goes to his right hand. Nice shot fake, up and good. Nice fake there by Larrick. He got Shellis up on his feet and then finished the play, and John Glenn into their press as they cut the lead to 6 now, 28-22. Bates around the basketball again. You got to be careful with Bates around because he has got his hand on it a bunch tonight. And New Philly breaks the press eventually. They get it into the front court. Miller with the basketball. Bates guarding him.
Wow,
and that's an offensive foul.
Call. That's an easy call.
Owen Miller reached out with his right hand and just pushed Bates away.
Twice.
And that is an offensive foul.
It's almost like, hey, official, you didn't call that the first time? Well, let me shove him again. And that's exactly what he did.
And Miller going to check out of the game.
That was straight frustration, I believe.
It was. I think he just got frustrated because he was being guarded closely. Now Nick Lazakis with the left hand on the left side of the floor. Larrick screens for him. They get the 3-ball off for Dolan again, and he finds the bottom of the net. C.J. Dolan has cut the lead now 28-25, and just like that, Mike, John Glenn back in the basketball game.
Dolan's 15th 3 on the season.
Slaughter now. I got to feel he's going to get something off here. He penetrates now. He's looking to get rid of it. And they like to run him off of some screens, but this time Wells, he's going to penetrate down the lane. A little floater goes for him. That's their first bucket of the second half. Extends that lead back to 5 now for the Quakers.
It's actually their first shot.
First shot of the second half, exactly. Bates running the show out front for the Little Muskies. They spread the floor. Bates hands it to Dolan. Dolan shot faked on the 3. Gets it to Windland. Windland turned the 3 down. Now Bates has got it. And now he's looking to get it into Larrick. Larrick being bodied there by Kroll again. Larrick now trying to work his way back down to the low post, but here goes Bates on the dribble, lefty all the way. It's going to be off Kroll. Nope, they're going to say it's off Bates.
And Bates didn't argue, and I think that was the correct call by the officials.
I think it came back off Bates when on his way out of bounds. John Glenn in the press. They trail 30-25, 5:45 to play here in the third quarter. Bates, again, having to tuck his jersey in, and Mike, you said that was pretty much fruitless for him.
He's looks like a broomstick on a diet. He's thin, and I don't ever remember being that thin.
He's thin, and that's just hard for that jersey to stay tucked in. John Glenn with the press. Wells going to get another floater off again, no good. And he gets his own rebound. Slaughter, three-pointer on the way, no good. His first miss from out there. Nikolazakis with the rebound for John Glenn. Trying to cut into this 5-point lead. Bates has got it. Swings it over to Windland. Windland would like to find Dolan again for a 3. He hit his first look at it here in the second half. A nice backdoor cut by Dolan, and the left-handed layup is no good. Boy, that would have been a nice one to cut the lead down to 3. Instead, it's a 5-point lead. New Philly now into the front court. Wells handles the basketball for the Quakers. Double high screen for him, but Bates jumps out to try to set a trap. Slaughter got the ball. He's going to penetrate all the way down the lane, up and in. Slaughter, his first 2-point bucket. Excuse me, that's his second 2-point bucket. He had a 3-point play in the first quarter. He's got 17 points now. Larrick tried to get it out to Nikolazakis in the corner, but it's tipped away and out of bounds. And here comes the hockey line change and a timeout, a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here, Mike. 32-25. The lead was 8 at half. It's now 7. They really haven't done much. They made a nice little run to start the quarter, but the Quakers have got a couple buckets to extend that lead back to 7 again.
Yeah, Carson Crandall got in there for a nice little easy jumper within the free throw line in the paint there, and then I thought they overplayed Slaughter just a little bit, and he was able to go by on the dribble and get a layup there, so Philly extends it back to 7.
32-25, 4:40 to play, and we talk about that first 4 minutes of the second half. It's got another 40 seconds left in it. John Glenn will be inbounding the ball underneath their own basket. I'm sure Coach Scheck wanted to talk to his team. This is going to be his best out-of-bounds play to try to score if they'd like to cut into that lead here. And they get a screen, and the three-pointer is on the way from Briggs, and it's in and out and rebounded to New Philly. He got a pretty good look at it, but it was in and out. Couldn't convert, and John Glenn still struggling from the three-point line tonight. Nelson Cameron pressuring the basketball out front. They get it to Slaughter. Slaughter being guarded by Briggs. High screen from Shellis forces a switch. Lyric on to Slaughter. I don't think that's the matchup they want, but really might have done a good job because he's harassing him, but he gets right around him on the dribble, kicks it out into the corner for a three-pointer. It's in and out, and it's an offensive rebound again for the Quakers. Slaughter another three ball, and he chased it immediately. He knew it was off, but he got the rebound and missed the rebound. Lyric finally comes down with a defensive rebound for John Glenn. They're on the run. Davis lays up, and he is fouled. And the New Philly crowd doesn't like it, but they didn't have the angle that I did. I thought Wells used his body and pushed him out of the way.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. It was on the opposite side of the court of the New Philly fan base, and we had a really good angle at it. Definite foul.
I thought that was a pretty good call. It was he used the body definitely. And that's Wells' second foul.
That's Davis' first miss on the year from the foul line.
And again, the free throw line has not been kind to John Glenn tonight. Davis getting the second free throw here. His team trailing by 7. 3:46 to play in the third quarter. Second free throw, and that's in and out as well. 0 for 2 from the line there to start off the second half for John Glenn. Not what they wanted to do. And here comes the trap. They try to get Slaughter in it. He beats the trap, gets it ahead. They throw it down low, back outside. That's usually a good three-point attempt, but that time he turned it down. They get it to Slaughter on the right side. He kicks it out on top. Three ball thought about and turned down this time. Another three ball, nice move, and they've just been in and out with those two players, and they finally get the three-pointer on the way. It's no good, but another offensive rebound for New Philly. Wells penetrates into the lane, and he dumps it off for Kroll, and Kroll lays it right in.
I watched Kroll that entire possession. All he did was screen. He got rewarded with the 2 points at the end.
They had a nice 2-point game going between the two Millers, and they never did get a shot out. They did get a shot, but the offensive rebound was the key. And then Nelson Cameron with a three-pointer up from John Glenn. It's no good, and they're not going to stop the basketball, so I'm just going to penetrate in and score. Wells with his second bucket of the quarter. It's now 36-25. They didn't stop him, so might as well go ahead. Lyric inside now. And they're going to call a foul before the shot, and I believe that's going to be on Kroll. It is his third foul. And they're going to take him out and put in Shellis, who's 6'6" as well, to try to deal with Lyric.
John Glenn has missed their last 3 shots, but Dave, they are just getting severely out-rebounded again. Only 2 rebounds for John Glenn in this quarter.
The offensive rebounds are just giving New Philly the extra chances. Lyric, he's blocked inside by Shellis. Nice play there. Shellis just as tall as Lyric, and he played good defense. Here comes Slaughter. Slaughter all the way. It's tipped from behind, and it's off of Slaughter. It goes out of bounds. Slaughter, he's got 17 to lead New Philly. John Glenn now at a critical juncture in the game here, Mike. They're trailing 36-25. There's 2 minutes to go. They need to make some hay at the end of this quarter.
Well, right now, their only option inside the three-point line has been Lyric. Everything else, they're covering up the three-point shots pretty good out here, New Philly is.
Dolan gets it to Lyric. He squares up, trying to find somebody to get it to. Shellis doing a nice job guarding him. Back to Dolan. Now Bates. Bates, head fake, penetrates all the way underneath the basket, kicks it out to Dolan over to Nikolazakis. Second shot, and he kind of double clutched that one.
Yes, he did.
He really didn't want to shoot it, but thought, I might as well. And usually when you do that, you don't make it.
Yeah, on three-point shooting, you think long, you think wrong. get it in rhythm and let it go.
John Glenn setting up that press. This is where, if they can get some kind of advantage, it's been on this press. Here comes Wells. They're trying to get a trap. Bates. And they do get it. Windland steps in the passing lane. He gets all the way to the rim, lays it up and in. Hits first bucket of the game. 36-27, stops the bleeding.
Stops the bleeding for sure.
John Glenn setting up the press again. Here comes the run and jump trap, and they're going to call a foul
on Dolan.
On C.J. Dolan. I'm going to ask, what did he foul him with there would be my question.
His shoe, maybe? It had to be something low.
And that's going to be a full timeout, so we'll take a break here. You're listening and watching high school basketball on ABC Sports.
Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative will be giving out over $7,000 in scholarships this year. Graduating seniors whose parents or guardians are members of Guernsey Muskingum are eligible to apply. Visit gmenergy.com for a complete list of rules and applications. The application deadline is Friday, February 2nd, 2024. You're listening to high school basketball on 107.9, 98.5 Nash Icon, WILE Cambridge.
Third quarter action here at the Fish Tank. John Glenn trailing in this basketball game, 36-27. It was an 8-point deficit at halftime. It stands here at 9 in the third quarter as New Philly has outscored John Glenn 8-7 in the quarter. And once again, Mike, the three-point line not been kind to John Glenn, nor has the rebounding been good, and the free throw shooting has been a problem tonight for John Glenn as well.
New Philly's out rebounding John Glenn 10-2 in the third quarter, and they are not letting John Glenn sniff
an offensive board.
And here's another thing too, we saw that the clutch there, the double clutch there by Nikolazakis, that's caused by being pressured all night long.
Exactly. New Philly now, after the timeout, they're trying to set something up. Into the lane. Kicks it out on the left wing. Miller penetrates now. He gets it out to the other Miller. Miller penetrates. He gets it to Miller into Shellis. Shellis down low, and he can't get it to go. Point blank range, and he shoots an air ball. Here comes Bates with the rebound for John Glenn. Penetrates all the way to the baseline, back out to Dolan. Larrick calling for the ball inside. They get it to him. This time, he's going to spin back to his right, and it's blocked. And that was pretty good defense, and it was called a foul on Owen Shellis, his second.
Yeah, Shellis didn't like that. I thought he did a really good job on Larrick, putting him in a bad position and then blocking the shot.
I thought he did too. He held his ground like you want to do inside, didn't let Larrick push him around. Held his ground and went straight up. Larrick kind of faded and got the foul call. So Larrick now, he shoots 2 free throws. First one is good.
Larrick 50-50 on the year at the line. 10 of now he's now 11 out of 21.
36-28. New Philly leading John Glenn. Larrick readjusting his jersey. Second free throw. Couple dribbles, eyes the rim, lets it fly. Good rotation. And nothing but net there for Mr. Larrick. He's got 8.
Those 2 free throws look good from Caleb.
8 points now for Caleb Larrick. It's 36-29, a 7-point deficit. They're 1 point better off than they were at halftime. 30 seconds to go here in the quarter. Wells bringing it up against pressure from Bates. Trying to get another trap, and they just let him go. And I thought he might have slipped and traveled, but no. Wells has got it. We got 2 Millers, Owen and Quinn, in the game.
Could be a 5-second call here.
And they're going to call a foul on Davis instead. And that's his first. And that's only 2 fouls on John Glenn. So I guess you got fouls to give.
Well, yeah, you do. 10 seconds.
10.6 to play in the quarter. Wells has got it. Being guarded by Davis. They get it to Miller. Miller looking for Slaughter, but instead inside to Kroll. Kroll shot fake up, no good. Rebounded by Windland. Good defense. And that horn's going to sound before he can get a shot off. That'll end the third quarter. New Philly with a 7-point lead. It's 36-29. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
Are you paying too much for homeowners insurance? Has your insurance company raised your deductible? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. Many people can't accurately answer these questions. With many premiums escrowed into mortgages, homeowners don't pay attention to changes to their policies anymore. It's time you visit Valentine Insurance for a true, no-obligation review of your insurance policy. Call 994-1776 or stop by our office at 739 Southgate Parkway in Cambridge.
Your home and your car are likely your two biggest investments. Protecting them from unexpected damage is a prime concern to WB Green Insurance. They are proud to represent Westfield Insurance, a financial service organization that provides insurance products for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers, along with personalized claim service that's fast and friendly. To learn how Westfield can help with your insurance needs, talk to WB Green Insurance today.
Fourth quarter action ready to get underway here in New Concord. New Philadelphia leading this game 36-29 as we start the fourth quarter. New Philly with possession to start off. Wells bringing the ball into the front court against pressure from Briggs. Gets it to Miller at the elbow. They're looking for Slaughter coming off that double screen, but instead it's Wells out on the right wing. Three-pointer up and no good. Larrick with the rebound. He gets it out to Briggs. John Glenn on the run, trying to cut into a 7-point deficit. Thrown away by Briggs, Shellis, but he throws it back away. Bates always in the passing lane. He finds Glob, and Glob gets it to Briggs. Back to Glob in the corner. He throws it down low to Larrick. Larrick left-handed up and good. Caleb Larrick now in double digits. It's 36-31. John Glenn trying to make a run as they start the fourth quarter.
John Glenn's picked up the tempo defensively.
Miller gets it ahead after he's being harassed by Glob in the backcourt. Now to Slaughter. Slaughter's the one I would want to be handling the basketball and getting some shots if I was New Philly. He only had 2 in that third quarter. Shellis now to Slaughter. Slaughter being guarded by Windland. Slaughter tries to penetrate with his left hand, thinks better of it. Wells now hands it back to Slaughter on the left side. He gets it to Miller. Miller really nice with the basketball, been able to shot fake. New Philly being very patient.
And John
They own a 5-point lead, and there goes Miller, and there's going to be a foul on Larrick. Miller going to be the recipient of 2 free throws. John Glenn student section not really liking the call, but Larrick came down on him. Quinn Miller now going to shoot 2.
And New Philly is a perfect 4 of 4 from the line tonight.
Miller, left-handed shot, as Mike gives him the curse.
Every time I do it. I think I did it in football this year with an extra point for Will Nikolazakis.
Magoni coming back into the game for New Philly. Miller shooting his second free throw, and that one's no good. Rebound off to Windland. 36-31. John Glenn trails by 5 here in the fourth quarter. 6:24 to go. Bates hands it off, now gets it back. Looking at Larrick in the low post. He's being guarded by Shellis down low. Bates, spin move, inside up,
Great
good.
move. John
Nice
Glenn
move.
needed that. John Glenn needs somebody scoring inside the three-point line besides Larrick.
Bates cuts that lead to 3. It's now 36-33. Here comes Slaughter with lefty dribble. He throws it ahead to Miller. Miller, not in a big hurry, gets it back to Slaughter. Slaughter breaks the press. He gets it over to Magoni. They try to strip it from him, but he goes all the way in, and he's fouled, and he lays it up, and it's going to be no good. Boy, that almost rolled in.
It's going to be on Larrick.
And that's going to be Larrick's third foul. New Philly scoreless so far in the quarter, but Slaughter looking to change that as he's got 2 free throws. Quinn Miller just missed 2 free throws.
Slaughter's 4 for 4 on the night.
And that one is up and good, nothing but nylon for him. He's got 18 now. Slaughter eyes the rim, second free throw. Gets them both, nothing but net.
Perfect 6 of 6 for Slaughter at the line.
John Glenn now trails 38-33. It's a 5-point deficit, 5:41 to go in the third quarter. Nick Lazakis denied on the left baseline there. Gets it to Briggs. Briggs fumbles the ball, but it went right to Larrick. Larrick trying to make a move, going to spin back to that left shoulder.
Just like they drew it up.
And he scores. That's his 4th point of the quarter, and that makes it 38-35. John Glenn within 3 again.
Fumble the ball underneath the legs, get it to Larrick. Larrick goes up for 2.
John Glenn looking to trap again. They've got Wells in the backcourt with a trap, but he gets it ahead. Slaughter going to penetrate all the way to the rim. He flips it, and Shellis wasn't expecting the pass. And it goes out of bounds to John Glenn. 5:09 to play, trailing by 3, and the basketball is John Glenn's situation.
I think John Glenn feels like in this building, John Glenn has the momentum right now.
Briggs penetrates all the way in, dumps it off to Larrick. Short baseline jumper, in and out. Boy, that would have been huge. Slaughter with the rebound for the Quakers. Here comes Wells. They're going to trap him. He picked it up right across half court. That's a trap area. Magoni's got it. Back out to Wells on top. Nicholas Akas pressuring him. Left side, they've got Shellis inside. They got Slaughter coming off the 3, off that double screen, and John Glenn Bates falls down trying to get the basketball. They had Wells trapped in the corner, but a timeout from New Philly's coach, and that is going to be I think it's going to be a full timeout once we get a signal. Nope, it's a 30 seconds, so we'll keep it right here. Boy, Mike, fast and furious here. It's a 3-point game. John Glenn comes out here this quarter. They've scored 6. They've cut into the lead. Slaughter's got 2 free throws. That's it for New Philly in the quarter.
John Glenn has New Philly's 0 for 4, their last 4. John Glenn is 3 of their last 4. John Glenn has a little bit of momentum right now, but you got to rebound on the defensive board. You cannot let New Philly continue to have second chances on the offense.
Larrick had a nice little short baseline jumper that he couldn't get to go that would have brought John Glenn within 1.
That's a tough shot, Dave, and I'll tell you why.
Tough shot.
Because you never shoot that shot. You never shoot a 5-footer from the baseline. It's a great horse shot.
Yeah.
If you can make that shot consistently, you go back to that shot in the game of horse.
John Glenn now trying to force another turnover here. Slaughter's got the basketball for the Quakers. He kicks it out on the right side. You can run a real pick and roll there. Kroll, he gets it down low and he powers it up, no good. And then Larrick does not rebound. He stands there and watches Slaughter get the rebound and puts it back in. Big bucket there for New Philly. They're up 40-35, 4 minutes to go in the game. There's a lob to Larrick. Larrick gonna lay it up and in. He gets the 2 back.
That's a heck of a catch and basket by Larrick.
Nice catch by Caleb Larrick. He lays it up and in. He's got 14 now for John Glenn. Slaughter being harassed in the backcourt. Notice they're giving him a little bit more ball handling responsibilities. Davis almost gets a steal. They get it ahead. Wells figures better against the much taller Larrick and kicks it back out to Slaughter.
And great hustle back by the John Glenn defense.
There's Bates again, ready to jump on the basketball. They get it to Kroll. Slaughter would like to get the ball back. Bates, and there's going to be a steal. Nicholas Akas. Nope.
Nicholas Akas played it too well.
And I'll tell you what, they gave him a timeout, and he did not have the basketball. He threw it, and they called a timeout. I do not like it when officials grant timeouts when there's a scramble for the ball.
And I think Nicholas Akas was pushed.
And he already got rid of it, and they called timeout. They
Yeah.
did not have possession.
Right.
You got to have possession to call a timeout.
I agree 100%. And Nicholas Akas, I believe, read it so well,
He was
but
there too
overran
soon.
it, and he was pushed a little bit too.
He was there too soon. 40-37 is the situation here in the fourth quarter. John Glenn has got 8 points in the quarter, 6 of those from Caleb Larrick, and he's helped draw the Muskies within 3. It's 40-37. We've got 3:25 to play. Foul situation, John Glenn has 2. New Philly, none in the quarter, and that's important. Once you get to 5, everybody shoots 2 now in high school basketball.
Less pressure, though, because there's no one-on-ones.
There's no 1-on-1. It's kind of depressing that that's fallen by the wayside. All right, Wells with the basketball for the Quakers. He gets it into the front court against Dolan. Over to Kroll. Nice screen action that New Philly has run over there when Kroll gets the basketball, but they couldn't get anybody open that time. Wells back to Kroll. Larrick's got it. Here comes Slaughter off the flex screen, and that's going to be an illegal screen on Kroll.
Who's an excellent screener, but you know it's the Shaq rule. He's a big guy. And if he moves just a little bit, he's going to knock you over.
I hate that because kids get penalized for being bigger than somebody.
And that's exactly, I think, what happened to Kroll.
You can be in good position, but if somebody that's smaller runs into him, they're going to fall down.
Exactly.
So what does the official see there? They just see the contact and the smaller player going to the ground.
And they hit him. The John Glenn guys, who are not the biggest guys in the world, are like flies bumping off him.
Yes. Bates penetrates. He's going to get fouled on the shot. And that foul is going to go against Wells. That's his third foul. Bates going to go to the line. Opportunity to draw the Muskies within one. It's 40-37, 2:51 to go in the game.
Bates 74% on the year.
First free throw, good from Steele Bates.
This is as close as John Glenn's been since the beginning of the game.
He's got 10 points now for John Glenn. And he's got to tuck the jersey in again. Oh, my goodness. Bates is like, you can't get me a smaller jersey because I'm just not that big a guy. Bates rattles the second one home, and it's 40-39. John Glenn within one, and they've got the press set up.
And they are moving that press even further down the court.
Wells has got it. He's trying to get rid of it, and there's a steal. He threw it right to Wendland. Here comes Bates. Kicks it in the corner, Dolan. Dolan penetrates. Stop and go dribble. Now Wendland in the corner. Dolan's got it. They're looking at Larrick, and that's going to get knocked away. That's a hard pass. A nice defense there by New Philly. Miller comes over and knocks it away. They had him covered front and back. Good help on the lob. Slaughter now with the basketball. Hands it back to Wells. Magoni's got it. Over to Shellis.
John Glenn with one guy in foul trouble, and that's Larrick with 3.
Slaughter's got it. Bates steps in front of him, but that's going to be a foul on Steele Bates, and that's going to be his third foul.
I feel almost like Steele Bates beat Colton Slaughter to the spot.
It was close, wasn't it?
It was very close, and
Bates did a really nice job of reading where Slaughter wanted to go with the basketball. Carson Crandall going to come back into the game for New Philly for Magoni. Shellis on the floor. He's a problem. He's 6'5" and pretty athletic. Good rebounder. Davis going to harass Wells.
And that's going to be a jump ball.
And they're going to call a foul.
Oh, they got Steele Bates again. So now Steele Bates has 4. I thought the official was going to get the jump ball.
I did too. That's 4 fouls now on John Glenn. We've got 2 minutes to go in the game. Bates comes out of the game with his 4th foul. Nikolazakis back in, though. Nikolazakis, another one of those ball hawks.
You almost got to go offense, defense with Bates at this point.
You do. Shellis in the backcourt. And he gets it to Wells. They're going to run some offense here when he gets it into the front court. He's got it to Slaughter. Slaughter to Miller. We're running a little bit of a Princeton-style offense here. Slaughter going to come and get a handoff. Tried to turn the corner, but was denied. Good job there by Dolan.
Nelson Cameron's been a dog on defense tonight, too.
He's been harassing Wells right there. New Philly now with a basketball. Slaughter's got it. Now to Crandall. Doing a really good job of running some clock. And there was a foul. That's going to be on Nikolazakis. His second, and that's going to put New Philly in a situation where they're going to get to shoot 2 free throws.
Owen Miller, I believe.
Owen Miller going to the line. He's got 5 points on the night.
But he's not been, has he been to the line tonight?
Not been to the free throw line.
So maybe not a terrible foul.
Quinn Miller missed 2 earlier, but this is Owen Miller. And his first free throw is nothing but net. Good shot. 41-39, New Philly. 1:22 to go in the game.
Bates returns for offense, as does Wendland.
Now with 4 fouls, though, Bates, he can't be as aggressive as he has been on defense. And that second free throw rolls in, and it's 42-39. It's a 3-point lead for New Philly. Bates going to hand the ball off to Dolan.
John
Bates has got it on the wing.
Can't be afraid to attack the basket.
Cameron, he attacks the lane, kicks it to Dolan. Dolan going to hand it to Bates. A little weave handoff going on out here. Wendland's got it. Cameron on a backdoor cut. Nothing doing.
Timeout.
And they're going to call
check.
timeout.
Yep.
Nice job there. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll take a break here. It's 42-39 with just under a minute to go in this game. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on ABC Sports.
Not buying till I checked on Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com. You're listening to high school basketball on 107.9, 98.5 Nash Icon, WILE Cambridge.
Back at New Concord, a game reset here. It's a fourth quarter. Nice grab, spin move. Nice job by Shellis, not letting him get it. Win inside. Bates thought about a three. Now Dolan, he's going to let a three ball go from the top of the circle. It's no good. Rebound off. Larrick gets the rebound, lays it up and in. He came from out of bounds, but he grabbed it.
I don't know if that's legal.
Clock running now, 37 seconds, 34 seconds. Boy, they let New Philly run some time off without picking the ball up down there. Slaughter, he doesn't want to give it up, but they're going to try to trap him. They're in danger of a 10-second count, and Slaughter wisely calls a timeout.
My question is, and I know it's too late for this, you can't go back and review it, but did Larrick, with the offensive rebound, did he establish himself back on the court?
And that is a full timeout.
Wait a minute, maybe we can replay it, but not that it matters
now,
now because
our man Brett's going to show us here, and Caleb Larrick is going to get out of bounds. He's standing on the eye. Did he reestablish himself? He didn't touch it before he went out of bounds, but did he reestablish himself before?
So his foot was not out of bounds?
His foot was, but when he came back in,
if
he reestablishes himself before he touches it, he's good.
Right.
He can't be the one that tips the ball, steps out of bounds, and comes back in and touches it.
And that's a tough call.
It is a hard
especially
call.
for an official when you got a millisecond to
And
make
if I'm
that decision.
if I'm wrong, my man Brett here, who is an official, he's a certified official.
Yeah.
He could help straighten me out here.
But we had
He just looks at me like, I don't know.
Last year, the Steubenville John Glenn tournament game had to have been one of the most viewed tip-ins by Nathan Walker at the end in ABC history, just because it was such a bang-bang play.
Maybe it was the Singleton when he was
the
the district
Singleton.
final when we did that game.
Yeah, that's
okay,
true.
think about that one.
I believe that was Easton Eibel.
I
made the shot.
I will see Jake Singleton tomorrow as Muskingum travels to Marietta. New Philly trying to inbound the basketball. They get it to Slaughter. That's the man they wanted to have touch it. And he lost the basketball. He falls on the ground. He throws it up in the air. They get it to Wells. 18 seconds. John Glenn trying to foul.
They don't want to foul Slaughter.
They don't want to foul Slaughter, but they have to. Clock was running. Boy, they had a great chance. Slaughter, that's usually a travel when you fall down dribbling the basketball.
Once again, what was 1 foot on the ground and established on the ground.
Slaughter now going to shoot 2 free throws. 13 seconds left. New Philadelphia leading this game 42-41. Slaughter eyes the rim. First one is up, and it's no good.
His first miss on the night.
First miss of the night.
And I'm going to assume Slaughter doesn't miss too many from the charity stripe.
I don't think he does. Second free throw.
Stakes a little higher now.
13 seconds to play. Boy, John Glenn, if he misses it, they've had trouble getting a rebound all night long. So Slaughter now, second free throw, that's good. 43-41. We've got 13 seconds to play. Eric Scheck's going to call a full timeout, but we're going to keep it right here, Mike, because now we can just talk about what they should do, and we don't even have to worry about being wrong because we're not coaching right now.
No, and here's the thing. Both teams have 1 timeout left. New Philly has not played any defense extended past half court all night. I don't think they're going to change anything. They're just going to continue to play man-to-man, strong man-to-man half-court defense. Does John Glenn go for the win here? I think you may. If you got to look with Larrick, I think you got to go with Larrick first. And if they double down, whoever's man's doubles down has to be ready.
Well, I think John Glenn has had trouble getting the ball into Larrick quickly, and
yes,
they need
have.
to quickly right now because there's only 13 seconds left in the game. So
yeah,
I think that Caleb might be out of the equation here. New Philly might pick up token pressure here in the backcourt, but nothing like John Glenn has done, just to make them maybe take a second or two extra. But you do not want to extend your defense if you're a team that's not used to that.
To it, right. And
So
it looks like they might.
They might just pick up full court here.
Or
but
three-quarter court.
Boy, if you want to give somebody a head of steam and let them do that, but see, they're going to back off to about three-quarter court. Just make sure the ball's caught in front of them, I think, is what they're trying to do. If they led by 3, we could have that conversation about fouling before you can shoot a three-pointer. But they're only up by 2, so you definitely don't want to foul. Here comes Bates, 12 seconds, clock moving. Bates dribbles into the front court, and he's fouled by Slaughter.
So they have 2 more to give.
They've got fouls to give, though.
How did we leave that point out?
We left that one out. Bad job by the commentators. They've still got another foul to give, 8.9 seconds left. John Glenn now going to try to run something from sideline out of bounds. They get it to Bates. Bates dribbles. Screen by Larrick. Bates going to let a three-pointer go. It's up. It's no good. Rebound by Shellis. That's going to end the basketball game. New Philly holds on for a 43-41 victory. John Glenn had the last shot. Bates had a good look at it. Took the shot from 3. It would have won the game if it had gone, but
wasn't a bad look.
Wasn't a bad look, but it wasn't really, I don't think, what Steele wanted to take there. So John Glenn falls 43-41. We'll take a break, and we'll be back to wrap everything up here from New Concord. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on AVC Sports.
At Abel's, we're proud that so many people trust our family with their family's home comfort. I'm Russ Abels. For new heating and cooling, you can trust us to save you money with our high-efficiency systems. We're trusted for electrical work, lighting, outlets, generators, complete home electrical service upgrades. We do it all. And you can trust us in an emergency. Whether it's heating, cooling, or electrical repairs, we promise to do the job right. It's what we do for family, and it's what everyone deserves. Trust Abels.
Save money and get peace of mind with secure file backups from ABC Tech. Lost or deleted files happen all the time, and it can be devastating to your business. ABC Tech backs up all your data from all your computers and stores it in the cloud securely. If you ever lose your data for any reason, we can restore all your files easily from backup. Right now, you can get 2 months of our cloud backup services free. There's no need for us to even come on site. We can set you up remotely and protect your files quickly and easily. Contact us today for more details and to get your first 2 months free. Call 740-432-5605 or visit abctechnicalservices.com.
Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative will be giving out over $7,000 in scholarships this year. Graduating seniors whose parents or guardians are members of Guernsey Muskingum are eligible to apply. Visit gmenergy.com for a complete list of rules and applications. The application deadline is Friday, February 2nd, 2024. Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it's for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company from Iowa to offer liability coverage to package with their Patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today, 740-305-5121, and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Are you paying too much for homeowners insurance? Has your insurance company raised your deductible? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. Many people can't accurately answer these questions. With many premiums escrowed into mortgages, homeowners don't pay attention to changes to their policies anymore. It's time you visit Valentine Insurance for a true, no-obligation review of your insurance policy. Call 994-1776 or stop by our office at 739 Southgate Parkway in Cambridge.
Your home and your car are likely your 2 biggest investments. Protecting them from unexpected damage is a prime concern to WB Green Insurance. They are proud to represent Westfield Insurance, a financial service organization that provides insurance products for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers, along with personalized claim service that's fast and friendly. To learn how Westfield can help with your insurance needs, talk to WB Green Insurance today.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Dave Hilliard, Mike Snively back at John Glenn High School, where John Glenn has fallen to New Philadelphia tonight. 43-41, an exciting game. Came down to the very last possession, Mike. John Glenn had a look from 3 and just couldn't get it to go. So final score, New Philly, the Quakers victorious. They run their record now to 4-3. John Glenn drops to 5-3 on the season. I'll give it to you for some stats here first.
Well, John Glenn actually had more field goals than New Philly. John Glenn made 15 out of 31. New Philly was 14 out of 36. One of the huge statistical big advantages here went to New Philly was rebounding. New Philly out-rebounded John Glenn 27-13. New Philly also out-rebounded on the offensive glass 10-2. John Glenn had 12 turnovers. New Philly had 13 turnovers. And John Glenn only 50% at the line. The other big statistical advantage where they only made 7 of 14 for 50%. New Philly made 9 of 12.
Well, John Glenn scoring, we'll break that down quickly. Caleb Larrick was 16 to lead John Glenn. He had 8 in the fourth quarter, Mike. Good for him. He pretty much put John Glenn on his back there in that fourth quarter. Noah Windland with 2. C.J. Dolan hit a couple threes. He had 6. Will Nikolazakis with 4. Braden Davis with 2. Steele Bates, second leading scorer there for John Glenn with 11. For New Philadelphia, Colton Slaughter led the way with 22. He had 15 at halftime. And he had 5 big points down the stretch for New Philly as they only scored 1 basket in the fourth quarter.
1 basket.
He had the lone bucket, and then there was free throws.
4 shots total is what New Philly took in the fourth.
Carson Crandall had 3 points on a three-pointer. Reed Wells had 4. Quinn Miller had 3 on a three-pointer. Owen Miller was 7. And Boston Kroll with 4 for the total of 43 for New Philly. And the thing that just stuck out to me, New Philly hit 6 threes in the first half, Mike, and then hit none in the second half.
None. Yeah, it was a game of runs. John Glenn never really led. I can't remember if they led to start the game, but
it might have been 2-0 or maybe or something like that.
That shot with Bates. Bates, that's not a bad look at the end of the game. You know, he had to change his form just a little bit, probably stepped out a foot or 2 normally than what he does shoot, but I can't question that shot whatsoever, and I can't question John Glenn's effort. They hung in there.
They did. They just offensively, they struggled a little bit. Free throw line hurt them bad tonight. Rebounding was the other thing really was their problem tonight. And again, let's mention our sponsors here. Patrons, Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Abel's HVAC, Doan Ford, Valentine Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, and then WB Green Insurance, all fine sponsors of tonight's broadcast. We appreciate our man Brett over here running the show. Made sure we got on the radio and on video tonight. He's multi-talented, Mike. I don't know what we would do without him at ABC.
Brett, we really appreciate all of your efforts, and you're a fine young gentleman.
He's the man in terms of audiovisual technology, we'll say. John Glenn, they've got to look forward to playing Coshocton on Friday night, and then they play Marietta on Saturday. Both of those will be home games for John Glenn. New Philly, they'll be entertaining Mansfield Senior on Friday and Zanesville on Saturday. As we mentioned, they are now 4-3 on the season with their 2-point win tonight. John Glenn now 5-3. Moving forward, John Glenn, they're going to have to find a way to score other than Larrick.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And when the three-point shot is not there, they've got to find some guys that can,
and
dribble, penetrate into that lane.
And they're high school kids. You're not going to make 14 out of 21 from the three-point line like they did against Cambridge their last game. They only made 2 threes tonight.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with the pressure that New Philly was
Exactly.
applying. New Philly saw some film and said, you know what, let's see if these guys can drive, and tonight it didn't happen.
Yep, definitely. So, John Glenn, I know Coach Sheck, he's got a lot to work on and a lot of takeaways from the game, some positive and some I know that he'll want to improve on. Mike Snively and I will be back here next Tuesday night as the, what are they, the Bears.
The Black Bears.
The Black Bears of Riverview, home of Owen Emig.
From Warsaw.
From Warsaw,
Not
Riverview.
Not Poland.
Not Poland, but Warsaw, Ohio. And we got Bears alum Owen Emig on our team at Muskingum, and young man can score.
Yes, he's an outstanding ball player. I saw him play
He's
last
a good
year.
player.
He got injury riddled last year, but I did want to make my Warsaw reference. It's the capital of Poland. For those of for those of people that did not know that.
Thanks for mentioning that for us, Mike. We appreciate that. We appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Again, Dave Hilliard, Mike Snively. New Philly victorious in this game, 43-41. And again, thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate Brett, all the camera people, and all the fine folks here at John Glenn. Super nice to us. They always treat us well. Michael Dunlap, Athletic Director et al. We appreciate everything they do for us to get us on the air and give us space here at John Glenn. Thanks for listening and watching tonight. You've been listening and watching high school basketball on AVC Sports.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.